and Professor Ondigi Samson Rosana. Rasugu Grace Kwamboka Omete, Doctor of Philosophy in Special Needs Education, Supervisors Dr. Nelly Othube and Dr. Margaret Murungami. Njue Sarah Wancha, Doctor of Philosophy in Special Needs Education, Supervisors Dr. Margaret Murungami and Dr. Patriciah Punyazi. Nalaira Stefano, Doctor of Philosophy in Comparative Education and International Studies, Supervisors Dr. Wawire Violet and Dr. Peter M. Gadara. Wanchara Chastas Kamala, Doctor of Philosophy in Comparative Education and International Studies, Supervisors Dr. Violet Wawire and Dr. Francis Lekoye Malenya. Nzoka Francis Katumo, Doctor of Philosophy in Curriculum Development, Supervisors Dr. Evantas Kaugi and Dr. Elizabeth Kathamu. Kinyanjui Julius Kiiru, Doctor of Philosophy in Educational Management, Supervisors Dr. Daniel Mange Mbirithi and Dr. Daniel Otieno. Munyi Monica Werimba, Doctor of Philosophy in Educational Management, Supervisors Dr. Peter Nyaga Muchanche and Dr. Generos Mutegi Kibara. Okay. Akatuma Daniel, graduating in absentia with a Doctor of Philosophy in Educational Planning and Economics of Education, Supervisors Dr. John K. Ndiritu and Dr. Mukirai S. Njaya. Next, Gatama Samuel Njenga, Doctorate of Philosophy in Educational Planning and Economics of Education, Supervisors Dr. Mary A. Otieno and Dr. Samuel N. Waweru. Mwangi Wilson Mwaniki, Doctor of Philosophy in Educational Planning and Economics of Education, Supervisors Dr. Chakri Nyerere and Dr. Martin Ogola. Owino Clifford Otieno, Doctor of Philosophy in Early Childhood Studies, Supervisors Dr. Patriciah Punyazi Awoli and Dr. Rachel W. Kamau Kangete. Mr. Chancellor, sir, it's now my honor to present the candidate for the award of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy of Kenyatta University.
School of Engineering and Architecture, will the graduates who will be receiving the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the School of Engineering and Architecture move forward in the order in which I'll call out their names. Araka Eric, Doctor of Philosophy in Computer Science. Supervisors, Dr. Elizabeth Maina, Professor Robert Oboko, and the late Dr. Rhoda Gitonga. Kiama Pilibugwa, Doctor of Philosophy in Environmental Planning and Management. Supervisors, Dr. Samila Tema, Professor Agri Thuo, Dr. Engineer Daniel Okanga Oyo. Madeleine Nyaritunza, Doctor of Philosophy in Environmental Planning and Management. Supervisors, Professor Caleb Mireri and Dr. Felix Migete. Opio Stephen Baraka, Doctor of Philosophy in Environmental Planning and Management. Supervisors, Dr. Samila Tema and Dr. Godwin Opinde. Kobe Emmanuel Yeri, Doctor of Philosophy in Renewable Energy Technology. Supervisors, Dr. Nixon Langat and Dr. Paul Jogu. Mr. Chancellor, sir, it is now my honor to present the candidates for the award of degree of Doctor of Philosophy of Kenyatta University.
School of Health Sciences, will the graduates who will be receiving the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the School of Health Sciences move forward in the order in which I will call their names. Maritime Violet Chepchichir, Doctor of Philosophy in Reproductive Health. Supervisors, Professor Anthony Nyoro, Dr. John Maingi, and Dr. Jakim Nyamari. Jenga K. John, Doctor of Philosophy in Hematology. Supervisors, Dr. Scholastica Marenge, Dr. Nelson Menza, and Professor Jesse N. Gidanga. Mwangi Gladys Wangeshi, Doctor of Philosophy in Pharmacology. Supervisors, Kamindu Gikonyo, Professor Joseph Kangangi Gikunyu, and Dr. Charles Gidua Gidinji. Kirinyet Ruth Chepkoskei, Doctor of Philosophy in Environmental Health. Supervisors, Dr. Peterson Warutere, Dr. Purity Nguhiu, and Dr. Patroba Ojola. Toet Ann Chemngeno, Doctor of Philosophy in Environmental Health. Supervisors, Dr. Anthony Nyambura and Dr. Isabel Kingori. Akobi William Kala, Doctor of Philosophy in Public Health. Supervisors, Dr. John Paul Oyore and Dr. George Ochieng Otieno. Mr. Chancellor, sir, is now my honor to consider to the word of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the Kenyatta University.
Yes. School of Law, Arts, and Social Sciences. Will the graduates who will be receiving the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the School of Law, Arts, and Social Sciences move forward in the order in which I'll call out their names? Mbuthia Gesia Waruguru, Doctor of Philosophy in Sociology. Supervisors, Dr. Samuel Mwangi and Dr. George Evans Owino. Abd Salim Rais, Doctor of Philosophy in Kiswahili. Supervisors, Professor Ireri Babu and Dr. Jackton O. Onyango. Yunus Lubuka, Doctor of Philosophy in Kiswahili. Supervisors, Professor Catherine Ndungo and Dr. Jesse Joseph Murithi. Likuyani Eric Muhati, Doctor of Philosophy in English and Linguistics. Supervisors, Dr. Hilda Udali Kebeya and Dr. Kenneth K. Ngure. Dr. Bay Emmanuel, Doctor of Philosophy in Literature. Supervisors, Dr. Esther Kadeu Mbidi and Dr. Oscar Macharia Maina. Sum Robert Kipkoech, Doctor of Philosophy in Literature. Supervisors, Dr. Justus S.K. Makoha and Professor Speranza Ndege. Chewa Jason, Doctor of Philosophy in Public Policy and Management. Supervisors, Professor David Minja and Dr. Jane Kakenia Njoroge. Motieri Stanley Ondiri, Doctor of Philosophy in Public Policy and Management. Supervisors, Dr. Wilson Muna and Dr. Felix Kirudu. Ombaki Cornelius, Doctor of Philosophy in Public Policy and Management. Supervisors, Professor David Minja and Dr. Wilson Muna. Omweri Fred Siambe, Doctor of Philosophy in Public Policy and Management. Supervisors, Dr. Wilson Muna and Dr. Jane Njoroge. Tanui Ezekiel Kibet, Doctor of Philosophy in Public Policy and Management. Supervisors, Dr. Jane Njoroge and Dr. Patrick Mbataru. Kipto Laksamana Peter, Doctor of Philosophy in Security and Development. Supervisors, Dr. Francis P. Kere and Dr. Henry Rono. Sakayo Chris Ndunda, Doctor of Philosophy in Security Studies. Supervisors, Dr. Peter Philip Wambua and Dr. Duncan O. Ocheng. Oh, yes. Yes. Yeah, okay. Okay. Opio Newa Elsie Nyadoi, Doctor of Philosophy in Counseling Psychology. Supervisors, Dr. Beatrice Kadungu and Dr. Christine Wasanga. Wambua Solomon, Doctor of Philosophy in Counseling Psychology. Supervisors, Dr. Meresia Sirera and Dr. John Oteo. Ondere Philip Kilonzo, Doctor of Philosophy in History. Supervisors, Dr. Edward Waswa Kisiangani and Dr. Gordon Omenya Onyango. Jeboy Peter Komen, Doctor of Philosophy in Security Studies. Supervisors, Colonel Stephen Handa and Dr. Kasba Masiga. Sakayo Chris Ndunda, Doctor of Philosophy in Security Studies. Supervisors, Dr. Peter Philip Wambua and Dr. Duncan O. Ocheng. Njiri Nelson Mugweru, Doctor of Philosophy in Peace and Conflict. Supervisors, Dr. Susan Mwangi and Dr. Joseph Wasonga. This one, yes. Mr. Chancellor, sir, it's my pleasure now to present the candidates for the award of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy of Kenyatta University.
School of Pure and Applied Sciences, will the graduates who will be receiving the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the School of Pure and Applied Sciences move forward in the order in which I will call out their names. Bogi Elik Kiage, Doctor of Philosophy in Chemistry. Supervisors, Dr. Mildred P. Nawili, Professor Dixon Andala, and Dr. Geoffrey Otieno. Gary Regina Wangui, Doctor of Philosophy in Chemistry. Supervisors, Professor Joseph Karanja Wadhiongo and Professor Jackson Wachila Mudhengia. Karugia Eraija Samuel Kamau, Doctor of Philosophy in Plant Ecology. Supervisors, Dr. Francis W. Karaoke and Dr. Joyce W. Mwaniki. Wanjilu John Kongo, Doctor of Philosophy in Statistics. Supervisors, Professor Leo Odiwol Odongo and Dr. Ananda Amkuto Kube. Muchemi Karaoke Peterson, Doctor of Philosophy in Genetics. Supervisors, Dr. Joseph Wainaina Kamau, Dr. Matthew Piero Guge, and Dr. Shem Bonuke Nchole. Odongo Willis Otieno, Gol. Doctor of Philosophy in Physics. Supervisors, Dr. Margaret W. Chege, Dr. Nadil Hashim, and Professor Sinji Tono Kami. Osano Kenneth Onyango, Doctor of Philosophy in Biochemistry. Supervisors, Dr. Matthew Piero Ngugi and Professor Alex Kingori Machocho. Kamau Kimani James, Doctor of Philosophy in Biotechnology. Supervisors, Dr. Matthew Piero Ngugi and Professor Joseph J.N. Gelanwa. Kimuni Susan Nyawera, Doctor of Philosophy in Biotechnology. Supervisors, Dr. Matthew Piero Ngugi and Professor Eliud Mwaneki Jagi. Gaichu Daniel Mude, Doctor of Philosophy in Medical Biochemistry. Supervisors, Dr. Matthew Piero Ngugi and Dr. Patriciah Mathambe. Getimo Richard Minor, Doctor of Philosophy in Medical Biochemistry. Supervisors, Professor Eliud N.M. Jagi, Professor Joseph K. Gikunyu, and Dr. Stanley K. Waithaka. Guy David Nyaga, Doctor of Philosophy in Medical Biochemistry. Supervisors, Dr. Matthew Piero Ngugi and Dr. Cromwell Mwiti Kibiti. Mr. Chancellor, sir, it is now my honor to present the candidates for the award of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy of Kenyatta University.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, may all members of academic staff and guests in academic attire please rise.
I admit the persons presented to me to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, and by my authority and that of the entire university, give you power to read and to do all that appertains to this degree.
Congratulations, congratulations, ululation. Fanfare by Administration Police Band. Let us applaud the new 79 PhD holders of Kenyatta University. A louder applause, please, for these new graduates. Congratulations. You may now turn your tassels to the right. Congratulations. Mr. Chancellor, sir, the Vice Chancellor, Kenyatta University, Chairman of Council, DVC Academic, and the CS representative, we request you to join the new PhD graduates of KU for a group photo. Happening now, the 53rd graduation ceremony of Kenyatta University. Just graduated 79 PhD holders of Kenyatta University. Getting there, the market, they are now taking a photo with the Chancellor, Chairman of Council, Vice Chancellor, DVC academic, and the CS representative. Please be seated. Made Kenyatta University proud, 79 PhD holders of Kenyatta University, taking a group photo with the Chancellor. Thank you very much, Mr. Chancellor. Sir, you may take your seat at the dais. Our graduates, now PhD graduates, please take your seats. Wave to the crowd, please. It is your day. You have made it. Keep waving to the crowd. Tuwashangilie tafadhali. They have made it. The PhD holders now of Kenyatta University. Titles now change to Daktari with immediate effect. Doctor. 79 of them just attained it here at Kenyatta University. We are proud of you. Congratulations, and congratulations, DVC Academic.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, I now want to call upon the Executive Deans of Schools to present candidates for the conferment of master's degrees of Kenyatta University in the order indicated in the graduation program. All the graduates who will be receiving the various master's degrees will rise in the order in which the executive deans will present them and will remain standing without their caps on until requested to sit by their respective executive deans awaiting the conferment of the degrees. Executive deans, please.
School of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences. This is on page 34 of the graduation booklet. Master of Environmental Studies, Climate Change and Sustainability, Binge. Isaac Ngare. Master of Environmental Studies, Environmental Science, John Ndeleko. Master of Environmental Studies and Community Development, Jane Ruth Sarah. Master of Science, Integrated Soil Fertility Management, Akelo Emmanuel. Master of Science, Plant Pathology, Paul. Master of Science, Animal Nutrition and Management, Mwangi. Master of Science, Agribusiness Management and Trade, Catherine Shadrach. Master of Science, Agricultural Economics, Machoka Pauline. Master of Science, Agronomy, Josette. Master of Science, Triland Agriculture, Kentete. Master of Science, Land and Water Management, Mwingirwa. Please take your seats.
School of Economics, School of Business, Economics and Tourism, Master of Economics, Cooperation and Human Development, Anthony. Master of Economics, International Trade and Finance, Mercy.
Master of Economics, Finance, Alice Edna Linian. Master of Economics, Policy and Management, Henry Kimaita. Master of Economics, Wilson and Wycliffe. Master of Science, Hospitality and Tourism Management, Abubakar and Jennifer. Master of Science, Tourism Management, Otieno. Master of Project Monitoring and Evaluation, Charles. Master of Science, Finance, Benedict, Dennis, Eric, Kamau, Kiage, Moenga, and Resa. Master of Science, Human Resource Management, Caroline and Wekesa. Master of Business Administration, Management Information Systems, Ahmed, Anthony, Enoch, Faith, George, Jeremiah, Kioro, and Purity. Master of Business Administration, Accounting, Ngala. Master of Business Administration, Finance, Abdi Aziz, Abdi Hakim, Abdi Rahman, Adoli, Ahmed, Alex Kimngetich, Amos, Anthony, Bernard, Bundi, Cheror, Cosmas, Edmund, Edrin, Edilin, Elias, Faizo, Felistas, Gishuru, Gladys, Jacqueline, Jacob, Jacqueline, James Kamau Mungai, James Njau, Janet, Jared, Jones, Joseph, Joyce, Kennedy, Kimuli, Kiprono, Kirui, Kuya, Marion, Martha, Matei, Matthew, Mercy, Michael, Mohammed, Momanyi, Mukuru, Mamiles, Mutai, Naima, Ndonye, Ndotono, Ndungu, Nelson, Njaya, Olambo, Owiti, Ronald, Rono, Samuel, Sarah, Sikoa, Stephen, Wakaba, Wanjohi. On page 38, Master of Business Administration, Human Resource and Management, Amina, and Judy, Enoch, Frederick, Gitari, Gladys, Hussein, Jane, Kaisa, Kariuki, Margaret, Muhati, and Paul. Master of Business Administration, Strategic Management, Abuga, Abuao, Agaba, Ajak, Akinyi, Alan, Audi, Boniface, Brian Roy, Bogen, Christopher, Daisy, David, Dominic, Doreen, Edward, Eliud, Elsa, Emmanuel Magero, Emmanuel Mweni, Eric Gabiru, Eric Kipkoech, Evelyn Nyakio, George Gitau, Goretti, Hani, Helen, Ibrahim, Imo, Isaac, James Makoha, James Gonjo, Joseph, Josiah, Jotham, Joyce, Kariuki, Kentais, Kihara, Lilian, Lydia, Makunu, Marius, Budia, Masi, Mohammed, Mungasia, Munyi, Murerwa, Nancy Cherotich, Nancy Mudeu, Nicodemus, Ntoiti, Ndungo, Orpa, Owande, Pauline, Penina, Rebecca, Robina, Roslyn, Samson, Shaw, Simon, Stephen, Teriwini, Timothy, Vincent, and Wycliffe. Master of Business Administration, Project Management, Abraham, Ann, Boru, Damian, Elma, Ferdinand, Gichuhi, Grace, Hassan, Hemet, Humphrey, Isaac, James, John, Kibaki, Maina, Margaret, Millicent, Mpozenzi, Murithi, Mutisia, Ngari, Nkonge, Oreshi, Philip, Ratanya, Saida,